And as time flies by, you'll open up your eyes wide. You feel it's gonna go your way. Hey, hey, it's a brand new day. Hey, hey, hey.
Welcome back to Marbella Now. My name is Nicole King, and I'm delighted to welcome today Tom Burns. He has been the president of age concern Marbella San Pedro since its conception quite a few years ago now. He's now letting other people help him a bit, but it's really nice to catch up. Tom, how are you? I know you've been so poorly.
I'm good, Nicole, I'm good, yeah, I'm feeling great. Had the COVID, as you know, and whatever. Fairly well recovered. Still a bit tired.
Traumatic experience, I know, because you were really poorly.
I was not good.
And I think you felt quite lost as what to do. You were left a lot to your own devices once diagnosed.
Well, that's right. Well, I live alone, so I was. It attacked me on exhaustion. So for 6 days, other than the basic functions and having a shower and drinking a lot of water, I slept for 6 days. So it wasn't good. Don't get it. It's not nice. It's not
No,
nice.
I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best.
No, don't get it.
What can I say?
But yeah, I'm good. I'm back walking. Fairly well recovered.
I have to ask a question. When you were poorly and in need of help as you live alone, did you contact anyone from Age Concern to help you?
No, I didn't, but they all contacted me. Actually, I was overwhelmed by the support that I received from individuals in Age Concern, also people in my local community. It reaffirmed for me that people are basically very good, and when other people are in trouble, they rally around. I mean, I ran out of space in my freezer for the food that was being left at my door every day. It was incredible.
Absolutely fabulous. I asked the question because I know one of the biggest challenges for Age Concern Marbella San Pedro, now that you are established and you have the means and the facilities, is to actually get people to admit they need help, even when they do need help. We're all very proud, it would seem.
That's right, and I suppose we have to understand that, but it's getting over the fact that people have their own dignity. They don't like to think that they're coming to a charity. Some other people think it's only for those who have financial need, whereas in my view, I think we've discussed before, the biggest need on the cost of us all is the satisfaction of loneliness. There's a lot of very lonely single people whose partners have died or whatever. So I was trying to get the message across that we want to attract anybody in need. It doesn't necessarily, it's not nothing to do with money, it's got nothing to do with health, it's got nothing to do with anything. If you feel you need some form of assistance or simply to make another friend, contact.
The meeting places obviously couldn't be open because of the COVID situation, so as soon as they were given, it's basically everything's been on hold. But what are the ways that you can provide this companionship to people? What are the ways of handling it?
Mostly on one-to-one basis, by going and visiting people who are alone and lonely and spending some time having a coffee, having a good chit-chat. Some people need their shopping done because they're slightly infirm. Other people need medical help. They need advice and counsel with regard to maybe going into a home if they are in a pretty bad way and they can afford it. So we have no agenda. We go just say, good morning, Nicole, how are you? And then you tell us the story and we react according to the need that you express. It's as simple as that.
It's lovely to see. I mean, you've had such active volunteers to get the initiative off the ground. Carol Woolnoth has been a very active participant, very instrumental in getting as far as you have, and now she's taken over a more significant role. With you being poorly, I think it made sense to start moving the responsibility.
I'm not young, I'm 78, and I had COVID, and the COVID particularly allowed me to concentrate a little more on what the hell is going on in your life and what do you want to do. So I thought, well, I was instrumental with Stephen in starting the Age Concern branch. It's been successful with the support of so many other people. We built it to be a pretty strong force on the coast. And I think it's time now that somebody with Carol's ability and experience takes over and puts a fresh look on it and takes it to the next stage, whatever that is.
Yes, but it's exciting to see the progress. And you mentioned, Stephen, you were involved in Age Concern initially thanks to Stephen Brooksbank, who unfortunately left us last year.
Right. Yeah, that's right.
Very sad.
Yeah. Well, he accosted me on the street in San Pedro and said, "You're English," and I said, "How dare you? I'm Irish." And he said, "Even better, let's have a coffee." So here I am, and it was he who cajoled, forced, beat me into setting up Age Concern. Stephen wouldn't do it himself. He was a very good number two, but he never wanted to be in the front. He always wanted to be in support at the back. He was incredible support. So it was Stephen Brooksbank more than me. I was simply the instrument that he used to do it with some management experience. But the whole concept was his, the whole idea was his.
What was Stephen's history? How did he get involved? What was his story here on the coast?
Well, he came from London, and he met a guy in London. Stephen was gay. He met a guy called Paco, who's Spanish, in London, and Paco persuaded him to come to Spain. That's kind of 50 years ago. And they became involved in the furniture business. And then Stephen got religion. He was a very right-wing, sort of evangelical Christian. And he, as he would say himself, he found Jesus, and his whole aspiration and aspect of running his life changed. The first charity he got involved in really was the AIDS one, where the young people were dying of AIDS. And he did enormous work on the coast in trying to help those young people through the AIDS epidemic. And then he became involved in the whole drug scene charity, because a lot of those guys and girls who were, the guys particularly who were in the AIDS epidemic, were also drug addicts. So he did incredible work with that. That then all happily passed, and Stephen then decided to look at older people, and he joined Age Concern in Estepona, and following that, then he persuaded me and others to set up with him in Marbella.
I think it's wonderful to see that a man that's obviously faced challenges in his own life and has used that to be the voice and face of others in similar situations that don't have the guidance. So,
well, that's correct,
you know, with the gay movement, the AIDS movement, with the drug situation, and then as he got older, obviously interested in helping others like himself.
That's right. He was an incredibly, you know, I think I've said it to you before, Nicole. If I was to ask to name three people in my life who really had an influence on me, Stephen would be one of them. He was the most giving, self-deprecating, kind, generous person, and never wanted anything. Didn't even enjoy people saying thank you to him. He didn't like that. He was just an amazing person. And all of those who knew him were touched by him.
I didn't know him well, but through Age Concern, I think if I had to choose one adjective, it would be jovial, because the smile was there, and you'd see him, and you would just feel joyous.
Well, even if you were feeling a bit down, you couldn't but react to his absolute welcome and smile. As you say, he had a beautiful smile. He was an incredible man.
Yeah, it was a big surprise that he was gone without even having time to react, really. It was,
well, it was awful. He was a man who didn't smoke, he drank in moderation, he exercised pretty ferociously. He was 72, 3, that sort of thing. And well, I think he fell. And he banged his head and he wouldn't go and seek medical attention. And then a week later he got this brain hemorrhage and just died.
Just goes to show, if you really do see that you have a full, just check it out. Please do.
Yeah. Be sure.
Yes.
That's absolutely right, Nicole. But he was an incredible man, and he's dead a year. And we have this walk coming up.
17th of April.
17th of
So
April.
tell us a bit about this. It's Saturday, 17th of April. The idea, I suppose, apart from commemorating the life and achievements of our wonderful Stephen, is also to raise funds, awareness. What do we have to do? Where do we have to be?
Much more about awareness than funds. I was quite specific in saying to people, I don't want this to be a fundraising event. I want it to be a memorial in the memory of Stephen Brooksbank, and that's exactly what it is. So the very brutal mechanic of that is that you come along and you join the walk, and you don't give us anything. If you want to, of course, it's very welcome, but we're not asking you to give us anything. Following the walk, there is a lunch, which is €1,500 per head for a paella and a glass of wine, whatever you do. The whole sole purpose of the morning and afternoon is to discuss, talk about, remember this great man, Stephen Brooksbank.
I think we can all learn a lot from Stephen. He has set up, wonderful to have our own Marbella, San Pedro age concern facilities. Are you still holding coffee mornings, or are you back holding coffee mornings at the moment?
Yes, we're still back holding coffee mornings. First Thursday of every month, 11 o'clock in the paddle club behind that hotel. What's it called?
Sisu.
The Sisu Hotel, just behind there. And please, we do practice social distancing. So if you know anyone who wants to come along and just need a friend, want to join, become a volunteer, come along and have a coffee, have a chat.
To be a volunteer with Age Concern, I know now that you have great training courses, organised, headed up by Rachel Garrett, giving the different formation groups. So you have quite a nice team together now handling those who want to be volunteers, because there are different ways to volunteer. It can be driving people, shopping, chatting, picking up prescriptions.
We even now have a meeting every month for an hour for people with dementia, run by an expert in dementia, and it's about controlling your own dementia, controlling and making the best of what sources are available to you in your mind, and trying to balance more what you can do than what you cannot do. So we do that.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it is. It's fascinating. In fact, you should have her on your programme.
Yeah, we definitely need to get those details, because that's a definite.
She does that, and then we have Rachel, who does all of it. After COVID, she came along and beat me up in the house regularly.
But that's amazing. We've spoken a couple of times about this, but I think it is important for those who are going through this to know that there are, as you say, whether it's dementia, grabbing onto what you can, and regarding breathing, having a professional like Rachel come and teach you how to breathe and get through those moments when you're breathless and airless.
And then so many others who will take you to a medical appointment, will take you or do your shopping for you rather than take you if you want, if you're not able to. So what I went back to say to you earlier, Nicole, it would be more that everybody who comes to see us, we would have a chat to discover what needs they have. And then I think I'm confident saying that we now have the resource to be able to help whatever that need is, or in extreme, to point you in the direction of expert support where you can get that kind of advice you need.
Yeah, and the thing is, you really are there. I know where there's someone who's finding they're going to get their mother kicked out of an old age home, or whether someone's stolen your inheritance by tricking you into signing papers.
That's all about.
It is amazing the scope of things that you guys say, okay, bring it on.
Even able to repatriate people who were lost where the relatives didn't know where they were, and they're now back in England or back wherever they came from. So it's a very Catholic organisation in terms of its support. We look at nearly anything, and what we don't know, we will try to find out if necessary. And we're very well supported also by the homeless charities, and there's an Alzheimer's charity. There are all sorts of charities, so we can tap into those as we need. So
yeah, and the nice thing is that you're all collaborating together, because the objective is the same.
And you're very helpful in that in your Indonesians thing that you do every year by bringing us all together. And that's very good. But we're beginning now to understand the power of networking and getting all sorts of support groups to interchange and interhelp and interreact and rely on each other. I'm going to have another meeting next week to discuss setting up a charity shop with 3 or 4 charities. How it will work, I don't know yet. But Paul, you know Paul, obviously. Paul's doing that, so we have a meeting next week to discuss that.
No, and that is the idea, if you can get things to help each other, because there are so many areas that do overlap, and that's what makes it #better together, but it makes it easier.
That's correct.
I think in communication, just to finish, too many of us are interested in giving our message, and we don't stop to listen to the message of others, and so often the message of the others really does coincide, overlap, and we can then join forward in strength for the mutual goals.
There are so many people, that's absolutely spot on, Nicole. There are so many people with fixed views. In Age Concern, I and Carl and others, we promote, don't make judgments, listen, and let the other people tell you what the problems are, rather than trying to say, oh, I got it, I know it. Yeah, it's incredible. You're absolutely right.
Well, Tom, thank you so much. Just to remind you, Saturday 17th of April, we are all joining together to go
11
for
o'clock.
11 o'clock, whereabouts?
On the Paseo at San Pedro.
So San
La
Pedro?
Pesquera. La Pesquera.
At La Pesquera,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then afterwards the paella lunch for €15 is also at La Pesquera, so you know the area. It's
That's
easy
right.
to park, so no excuse not to be there. Easy to social distance on the walk, but important for us to remember those members of our community that
One
matter.
appeal, you need to book your spot because we have a maximum of 60 people. We're not allowed more than that.
Book my spot now.
Gotcha.
I'm looking forward
Thank
to
you.
it.
Okay, Nicole,
Tom, thank you so much.
Thank you very much indeed.
And the
Thank you.
details of being of age concern on the screen all the way through the interview. In any doubt, just contact me and we'll put you across. We're now going to some messages from our sponsors and our Zero Hero partners, and we'll be back after that.
Hey, hey.
Judy likes to consider herself a clever young woman, which is why she thought very carefully before choosing her insurance company. Now that she needs it, she's jolly glad she chose Linear Director, as it looks as if she might have something better to do. Why don't you be clever, like Judy? Call Linear Director on 952 14 78 34 and see which policy is best for you.
When I'm the designated driver, I think it's only fair that I get to choose a Zero Hero venue that rewards me with free soft drinks. My friends all get to choose and booze, and they feel safe going home with me. Make sure that you get your reward for being the designated driver. Why pay if you don't have to?
Hi guys, Ross here from Hogan Stand. Proud to be a member of the Zero Hero campaign. And we recommend everybody. Nobody drives drinking. Everybody who drives a car doesn't have any alcohol in their system, and we're proud to sponsor the Zero Hero program.
We are at one. We are at
G-Wine is happy to be Zero Hero partner.
How cool is that? G-Wine.
one. Let the music
Clara are proud to present Zero to Hero,
you on your way. No time to hesitate.
Never Drink and Drive.
So much trouble.
McNulty's is proud to be a Zero Hero partner.
Poison arrows shoot.
Out of bounds, Zero Hero partners.
Here we are, sticker going on. Delighted to welcome everybody and to be part of the Zero Hero campaign. Delighted.
Zero Hero, welcome here. Han llegado de Barón.
We are at one. We are at
And welcome to Lemongrass, Doña Lola. Thank you very much. Zero Hero, welcome to Portofino, Cabo Pino.
let it set you on your way. No need to
Hi guys, Kazakhstan is proud to welcome the Zero Heroes. So come on in and enjoy free soft drinks for anyone who is the designated driver. Thank you, Nicole.
we can.
Hey, hey.
Please do check out our zerohero.es website for full listings of Zero Hero partners. There are more adding on every single day. Joining me now is the lovely Anna Scott from the Makeup Room, makeup artist. And so nice to see you, Anna. It's been ages.
Hello, it's so lovely to be here. It's completely changed since I came last.
Isn't it nice? All revamped for the new season.
Really nice.
Last time you were here, it was before we had the restrictions on crossing borders and boundaries. So it's actually been months and months and months and months.
I know.
How's your knee? How's the family? How's the paperwork? How's it all going?
It's going okay, actually. We had a little bit of a blip, but we're getting through it like everyone else is. But I can see light under the end of the tunnel, so
I hope you
that's
don't
positive.
mind me saying, but I know that although you guys have been here for ages, you are actually amongst those who only started getting your paperwork together because of Brexit.
Yeah.
What happened that suddenly, after all this time, and you like, okay, let's do this?
Well, we did it on the deadline.
But why
which
not
everyone
before?
did.
Just
I
to
do
try
not
and understand
know.
the mentality.
I do not know, but you know, I think half of us were saying, do we stay? Do we go? Like everyone thinks, I think. And but the work is really good for my partner, so that's positive. So then we just thought, well, let's go for it. And the children are quite settled in England now, so we're here.
Wonderful. Well, I'm very happy that you're here. And I know that although you've been in lockdown, you've still been very busy, working on different projects. Tell us a bit how you coped in COVID.
I'm just behind the scenes, to be honest. I put my head down and made, you know, I'm always going creative. So I just thought, let's think of some new ideas, new contacts. So yes, new chapters are beginning.
It's wonderful because it is nice to see that through those actions, you are now getting reactions. In fact, you're participating as we speak in the production of a movie that's being recorded here in the heart of Marbella. Tell us what you can, based on the secrecy surrounding the situation.
I'd love to tell you the whole story, but I can't. But I think someone else might tell you that.
Yes, we have Frankie joining us tomorrow, actor, producer, very much involved in the making of the movie. But it's nice to get it, as you all know, I love the behind the scenes. So give us a bit about what it was been like behind the scenes.
Well, we first did our first scene yesterday. It was a very long scene because it was the biggest scene of the movie. So it's, I think, nearly about 14 hours we were on set. So we had lots of creative ideas to do, and the actors, we got some fantastic actors and up and coming actors from Marbella Film School.
I love that they've got the local kids and everything involved.
Yeah, it's amazing. There's some brilliant talent.
And Damien Chapper is also involved, as I understand it.
Yes, he's casted in the film as well. So we've got a little of Hollywood coming into the movie too. So it's amazing.
And what kind of things did you have to do? I know you had to be there very early. And what was your day like yesterday?
Basically, I just had my brief. So with the director and the producer. So it was what was the plan of the film going to be? It was going to be a thriller. So I had the ideas and let's create it. So it was doing the main actress and the main actor, and then it was all the extras. So we were very busy. Obviously with COVID, we were using a club scene, so we had to sort of wait for enough people to be in, and then just on rotation, really.
Because you recorded it in a lovely bar in Marbella, which is nice.
Yeah, Living Salsa. So if anyone wants to go and do salsa, dancing, that's an amazing little club there.
A great way to keep fit too. I mean, dancing is a good way to keep yourself in shape if you're not keen on the gym.
Amazing little club. I think they're open sort of Thursday to Sunday, I think, now.
Yeah, so I'm definitely going to go check it out. It really does sound like fun. So you're working on the movie. You got to meet a lot of people, I imagine. Was there a lot of excitement on set? How did the kids feel from the Marbella Film School? What was the vibe?
Amazing. They were amazing. They managed to become... it's Nicole, the owner of Marbella Film School, sorry. And she invited all her students to come along and act behind the scenes. So it would be like doing the clacker or the times or the markings or the, you know, things like that. So it's amazing for them. And some of them actually were just starting on their course that day. So how amazing would they just have a phone call, say, come on set, we've got Hollywood actors on. And it's just a really good vibe on the film yesterday.
You've got a lot of history in, not just in the movie scene, but also with models. So it must be very different from having had that very high, fast-moving life, adapting it then to the ways of the Costa del Sol.
It was, but I think I've always just tried to keep that going, like behind the scenes type thing, and just creating another thing. I've got something coming up. I can't really say too much again. It's going to be a big summer ball in Soto Grande. So I've had to, at the moment, scouting for models, real good catwalk models for the fruit boutiques and the Sandwich Golf Club. So that's linked with them. So.
Wonderful. And you do a lot of collaborations with different designers and fashionistas, because it really works easier, doesn't it, when you collaborate with people of your own genre to support each other than each one going it alone?
Yes, I think so. I think so. I mean, we've got lots of things going on now, so really positive.
you're a very positive person. I mean, you always seem, doesn't matter even, obviously we can just imagine how difficult it's been for self-employed makeup artists when nothing's happening and everything's closed down to make it through. But it's lovely to see that not only made it through, but triumphantly.
Yeah, on the visual side, you know, I've actually thinking about, you know, doing sort of fashion shows and things like that. But on the sort of computer side, I'm thinking, I'm planning to do online courses, sort of one-day courses to do, you know, photographic. I know a lot of photographers here. They want to work with me to maybe do some looks for people to do. So, yeah, that's on the pipeline too. So,
well, never a dull moment. And obviously
No.
you also do your home visit makeup for anyone. You've got a special occasion or anything, you're also open for that, or organising parties where you go with your designers and your makeup and you can make, which nowadays I think is nice because we can't have those big parties we used to. So looking for different ways, different interpretations.
And also I think it's quite nice because of the numbers, it's quite nice to have that small number, to have that sort of quite unit of people that want to know how to apply makeup and stuff like that and just be pampered.
Yeah.
So,
and that's what you have, the LA Pampers.
Yes, yeah, that's been on hold for the moment because of what's happened. But if I just build it, I can really, you know, flourish it for next year, you know. So.
Without a doubt. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Lovely to see you, and looking forward to welcoming Frankie from the movie to tell us more on tomorrow's programme. Look forward for you joining us back again then. In the meanwhile, take care of yourselves, be nice to each other, and I will see you tomorrow. Anna, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Nicole.
Hasta mañana.
If we try, just believe it.